What is it that everybody wants in life? We all want to have really healthy and connected and loving and reciprocally respectful relationships. Yet, oftentimes, the reason why we're asking this question, what is a healthy relationship in the first place, is because we have not had this thus far. And oftentimes, we might have a slight improvement from the last dysfunctional or abusive relationship. So we think it's better, but then it's not really that either because it might have been just degrees better than the other one, but it's still not in the healthy relationship format. So today I want to go into what I believe are the traits of a healthy relationship. Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Kristen Brown. I'm a spiritual and empowerment author, mentor, and speaker. And I help people break free from lopsided and dysfunctional relationship patterns through reclaiming their personal power and self-worth. If this sounds like something that is interesting to you, then I suggest you hit the subscribe button and join this beautiful community of empowerment seekers and self-healers. The first thing I want to share with you straight off the bat is that I want to squash the myth that healthy relationships are found, that you're going to find this one partner and everything is going to be perfect and peachy and you're going to ride off into the sunset and live happily ever after. I'm not saying that to dash your hopes or anything, but I don't want you to believe that there's one perfect person out there that's going to dot all the I's and cross all the T's of your life and you so that you could just have this fully functional, awesome relationship. Because we're human beings here. We are the walking wounded and we are here to heal ourselves. And sometimes people have better healing strategies and methods than other people because they've been working on it for some times. And sometimes people have not. And they are very, very wounded. They're very hurting. They're very much in pain. And they're bleeding that onto the people around them, which is what dysfunction really, truly is. And it's not their fault. It's what has happened in their past. However, it is their responsibility to heal it now. So anytime that we discover something inside of ourselves that needs healing, then it's our responsibility to step up and to do that work. So what you're really looking for, number one, is a person who's willing to take responsibility for their bads, for their part of the equation that is not contributing to health of the relationship. So let's say you have somebody who repeatedly walks away from you or stonewalls you or doesn't know how to show up into a healthy conversation. If someone says, you know what, I know I do that. I see that I do that. I'm going to work on not doing that. That's what you're looking for in a partner. That's going to create a healthy relationship. Now, that's just one example because there could be a gazillion examples. But when people are willing to own their piece of the equation, their part of what is not fully functional and healthy, then you have like the best advantage in that relationship because the problems arise in relationships when people are not owning their stuff, because that's what an argument is when someone does something that's not cool and the other person calls them out on this, and then this person reacts or responds or defends or fights or gaslights or does whatever they do. This person feels not respected, not seen, and not heard. They end up lashing back, and then this whole drama happens. But if you have someone that says, hey, I really don't like that you did blank, and the other person says, I'm sorry, my bad, I shouldn't have done that, I'm willing to work on that with you, then you're winning. So healthy relationships require that both people take responsibility for their piece of the equation, the part of the relationship that's not working that is on their behalf. The second thing that healthy relationships has is a feeling of safety. And oftentimes this feeling of safety is created because people are willing to take responsibility for their part of the equation. That's why it is so incredibly important. And when they do that, what happens is that open and vulnerable conversations ensue from that, which actually beget connection. Because vulnerability begets vulnerability, and those two things combined beget connection, and that connection over a long period of time or even a short period of time can create trust. And when we trust a person, we feel safe with that person. We feel like that person has our back, and that person is also willing to protect us against aggressors. They're willing to stand beside us when something is coming at us that is in some type of attacking mode, whether it's from a person or an institution or a thing. They're willing to stand beside us in power, in unity, to protect us from this thing. This doesn't mean it's their job constantly that they do all the protecting of us, because we do need to learn how to stand up for ourselves and protect ourselves. But oftentimes when we have somebody with us, it helps fortify that feeling inside of ourselves, and we're better able to stand forth for what is right, what is justice, what, maybe setting and maintaining a healthy boundary with somebody in our life. And the third thing is that we treat each other with kindness and respect. Oftentimes in relationships, when people get comfortable, they stop treating their partners with kindness and respect. I'm telling you right now, if you put this as one of the uppermost things in your relationship where you're always going to speak kindly and respectful to that person, even if you're upset with them, that is going to make your relationship so much better than a large percentage of people out there. Because many times people lose that in relationships and they start to treat their partner or the people closest to them worse than they treat anybody else in their life because they know you're here, they know you're staying, they feel comfortable with you, and they feel like they can just get away with a bunch of hoo-ha with you. But healthy relationships maintain that energy at all times. They're always kind and respectful to each other, even when the going gets tough, even when there's a disagreement. And the fourth thing is that they're willing to work through the hard times with you. I've had partners in my past that were not willing to do that. I felt like I was the only person that was putting the work forward, the effort forward to build a healthy relationship. And this other person was like basically laying in a hammock doing nothing. And that didn't work for me. That didn't work for the relationship because there was not two people holding this up. A healthy relationship requires two people. And that means sticking together through the challenging times, through the difficult times, through the times where nobody knows what to do, or people are at a loss, or people are scared. And that's something that's really important to recognize in a relationship is that we each are going to bring our set of unconscious fears into the relationship. And I don't necessarily mean like a fear of heights or a fear of driving in a car. I'm talking about things like I'm afraid of being abandoned or I'm afraid of being cheated on again. When both parties talk openly about their fear, those things, those wounds inside of them, the places that they can be triggered, when that is brought to the table and both parties can talk about these things repeatedly, because oftentimes our issues are not one and done. But when we can get on the same page with our partner, we can understand their mindset and how their brain has been programmed in such a way, how they've been hurt and wounded in such a way that this is going to show up in the relationship at some time. That is when we go back to kindness and respect and sitting down together and making sure that we have a quality conversation to help our partner work through those fears. We didn't create those fears, and it is not our job to heal those fears. However, we can provide an environment where they feel safe working on those parts of themselves. The reason why I say we can't heal that for them is because we simply don't have the power to do that. Only we have the power to heal ourselves. You have the power to heal you. I have the power to heal me. But as long as you have people that are willing to put that effort forward into the relationship, then that's a healthy relationship. Even if it's a work in progress, I still consider that a healthy relationship because both parties are working towards the common good, the highest good for everybody involved. And the fifth thing kind of ties in with everything that I was saying, and that is that you're willing to have open and honest, vulnerable communications. Oftentimes, as a coach, when I am coaching one side of a relationship, either the male or the female, or what sometimes it's the same sex relationships, but I am coaching one partner in that relationship, many times they will come with me with issues regarding the other partner. And I say to them, hey, have you talked to this partner about that? And they're like, no, I haven't. The first thing that we need to do is to go to our partner and tell our partner how we're feeling, what's coming up for us, and being really honest and vulnerable about these things that arise in our life. I call these crucial conversations. And the last thing I'm going to mention is that healthy relationships give each other a degree of freedom. What that means is they're not trying to control every single move the other person makes. Now, it's important that you know that everybody is trying to control on some level. If you really get honest with yourself and you go within, you're like, where am I trying to control in my life? You'll be able to pick up a few places where you're trying to control your partner. And when we try to control another person, oftentimes the very thing that they do first is they push away because they want sovereignty over their own self. Now, this doesn't mean that they get to be disrespectful or rude or to do anything like that. However, when we're trying to control how they run their life and how they need to do things for themselves, how they have their own likes, their own interests, and each party actually needs some alone time. When we stop trying to control the other person and we give them freedom to live their life, What happens is when you combine all of these things that I mentioned today, you have a person that, yes, they may go do their thing, but where do they want to go afterwards? They want to come right back to you because they got their fill, they have their sovereignty, they have authority and dominion over their own life. They get to express themselves in a way that is authentic to them and that fills their own soul and spirit. And they're going to feel so good that they're going to want to be back in the nest with you. The number one thing that I tell people all the time is the best thing that we can bring to any relationship, whether it's romantic or relationship with a child or a friend or any relationship in your life, is to heal your self-worth. It is to reclaim your personal power. Because when you do that, you set yourself up in such a healthy way that the landscape of your relationships becomes very, very clear. And instead of being reactive or trying to control or being defensive, what happens is that you see things very, very clearly and you're able to show up in the relationship yourself in a healthier way. And if you are someone who does not have a significant other right now and you're looking to have one, yet you have this backstory of lopsided and dysfunctional relationships, and you're afraid that you're going to create the same scenario again, which, by the way, you likely will, because unless or until you heal these areas of your life, your energetic vibration is going to remain the same and you're going to call the same experiences to you. So if you're someone who is interested in healing your inner world in order to have that inner world reflect a better outer world, then I highly recommend you jump over to my website and you check out my program, the Self-Love to Soulmate Masterclass. This is a 6-week laser focused program that you go through with me as your personal mentor. Each week you will receive a module and a workbook, and we get together for 1 hour every week and we go through all the ins and outs and all the questions and everything that is coming up for you. I'm here to tell you that 90% of the people that I have taken through this program have gone on to attract their ideal partner, their forever love. The only 10% that didn't do that are only people that decided they were just not ready to start dating again for whatever reason. So if this sounds like something that is interesting to you, please jump over to my website. I'll put the link right up here. It will also be in the description below, and you can peruse what it's all about, the testimonials that are within there, and feel free to message me if you have any questions regarding this program. This is the identical work that I did to break myself free from toxic and lopsided relationships to call in what I refer to as my lifer. I also have an easy PDF download called 5 Supreme Energy Shifters to Attract Real Love. This is a beautifully constructed and very easy to understand and read short PDF that you can find right here on my website. It'll be sent directly to your inbox and you can check that one out as well. If you're interested on more on this particular topic, then I highly recommend that you check out this video right here, and I'll see you all next time.